Good afternoon, everyone. It is March 2nd, 2018. I'm Eric. Here I am at the Free Thought Project. Lawmakers guarantee old men can marry little girls. Reject bill to ban legalized rape of children. As a dad, this is exactly why I keep my children close and everyone else the fuck away. Alright. This is in Frankfort, Kentucky. Yeehaw! Talk about a bunch of inbred fuckers. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, here we go. A bill that would have banned adults from marrying children in Kentucky was struck down this week, prompting outrage from politicians and activists alike. Senate Bill 48, known as the Child Bride Bill, was yanked from the agenda this week, just hours before a scheduled vote by the Senate Judiciary Committee. This is the second time in only 2 weeks that lawmakers have protected the depraved act of adults taking children as their spouses. So disappointed my SB 48 outlaw child marriage won't be called for vote. Sponsor Julie Rocku, maybe Adams. Julie Adams will suffice, a Louisville Republican said in a tweet. It is disgusting that lobbying organizations would embrace kids marrying adults. We see evidence of parents who are addicted, abusive, neglectful, pushing their children into predatory arms. Appalling. And that is appalling. Yet, Child Protective Services will yank the child of a person who is perfectly compassionate and loving, and for all intents and purposes, a model parent, over the parent smoking a fucking plant. I know. It happens every day. Other people reacting to the bill were a little more outspoken than in their response. This is legalized rape of children. Aline Rockenwald, the executive director of the Kentucky Association of Sexual Assault Programs, said, "We cannot allow that to continue in Kentucky. I cannot believe we are even debating this in the year of 2018 in the United States." Adams did not say who was lobbying against the bill. However, she noted that the opposition is allegedly concerned about parents' rights. Oh, Jesus Christ. The kids need to come before the parents. And this is why my family sacrificed a full-time income to keep our child at home with us all the time. Because it's our responsibility to keep them safe. Now, do we suffer a little financial hardship? Fuck yeah, we do. But it's undoubtedly worth it. Undoubtedly. I could not imagine finding out my child had been harmed by an adult. I would fucking kill them. I would not call the police. I wouldn't say anything to anyone. I would just go kill them and they would never be found again. As it stands currently in Kentucky, teens under 18, can marry adults at ages 16 and 17 with the permission of their parents. However, according to the current law, it is up to a judge to decide if a child under the age of 16 can marry an adult, and the girl must be pregnant. For obvious reasons, critics of the current law claim that a pregnant 13, 14, or 15-year-old girl impregnated by the adult they are to marry is evidence of a sex crime, as a child cannot consent to sex. But it is the law nonetheless. And you know, and this is one of the things that I look at when I or looked at when I decided that I did not care for the law as it exists now, and I decided that, you know, if the politicians don't have to follow the laws, if the Federal Reserve, if all these different agencies, the police, and so on, don't have to follow the law, why the fuck should I? And moreover, it is the responsibility of the citizens to annihilate, to break all unjust laws. Alright, as the Courier-Journal reports, this bill would establish 18 as the legal age of marriage. Those who are 17 could marry with permission of a district judge if the age difference between the 17-year-old and the other party is fewer than 4 years. But in cases of a minor marrying an adult, the judge would have to review the material, including any child abuse records involving the teen, and check for any sex offender records of the adult. The judge also would have to consider factors including the maturity and independence of the teen, determine that the teen has completed high school or obtained a GED, and review any domestic violence records of either party. The judge is to deny the request in cases including if the adult is in a position of authority over the minor, has a conviction for child abuse or a sexual offense, or if there is a pregnancy or child in common that established that the intended spouse was the perpetrator of a sex crime against a girl too young to consent. I had some problems with the bill. Senator John Schickel, a Boone County Republican, said Thursday, in defiance of the bill, decisions involving a minor child should be made by a parent, not the court. However, other Republican lawmakers disagree. Frankly, I think it should be up to the parent, but and the only reason I think that is because the more government you have in your life, the worse off you are. Okay? I don't agree with look, down here in South Carolina, when I first got here, and this was about 11, 12 years ago, a place we go called Glendale Shoals. It's a beautiful natural waterfall. You know, it's just a beautiful place. It's a watering hole to cool down on a hot summer day. Me and my son went down there, and there was a man there, much older. You could tell the girl was, you know, 16, 17. And probably not any older. But you could tell they were married. She had the ring on, he had the ring on, and they were affectionate towards each other. But, you know, she wasn't bruised up, she wasn't battered, she looked healthy, and I suppose if a 16-year-old girl is mature enough, that I wouldn't have a problem with it, except when you start going lower than that, you know that the person, the child involved, cannot consent because they don't have the mental faculty to think about all the consequences of doing so. So, however, other Republican lawmakers disagree. I know there are some concerns, but it's 2018, and it's definitely a problem. Senator Will Schroeder, a Wilder, Republican and co-sponsor of SB 48, said, "Unfortunately, parents make bad decisions sometimes, and sometimes judges make bad decisions." As the Free Thought Project has previously reported, this problem is not isolated to Kentucky. Laws across America have legalized pedophilia with children as young as 10 years old, and no one appears to be stopping it. Yeah, let somebody fuck with my daughter and see how quickly they would be stopped. Girls as young as 10 are among more than 200,000 children wed to adults in the United States in just the past 15 years. I'm going to say that again. 200,000 children wed to adults in the United States in the past 15 years, despite minimum requirements that a person reach the age of 18 or legal adulthood. Nationally, a smattering of locations have preserved loopholes legalizing or legally permitting child marriage. Alarmingly, the number of children married away to fully mature adults could be much higher than the already startling number. 10 states provide only fragmentary statistics or none at all. And if the loopholes don't exist solely in theory, adults across the U.S. have actively jumped at the opportunity to marry kids, even amid a decline in the number of marriages overall. To wit, 3 10-year-old girls and an 11-year-old boy were among the hundreds of thousands of children and minors the system somehow permitted adults to lock into marriage, despite their bodies and minds not being fully developed. At least 207,468 minors married in the U.S. between 2000 and 2015, according to data compiled by Unchained at Last, a group campaigning to abolish child marriage, and investigative documentary series Frontline, The Independent reports. All right, so this is a good example of why these people's laws should not be obeyed. You know what laws should be obeyed? Don't steal, don't kill, don't rape, and that would include messing with a child. Very basic Ten Commandment type shit. Perhaps not all 10 of the commandments, but I think that would probably be a good start. Well, hope everyone has a good day, and remember, kill the state and live free.